So this is it's just strange that I don't know. You see, I went on this thing. It was weird. Uh, just the comments that people leave. It's like, so I found something strange. Apparently, it's feminist when a guy goes down on a girl. I didn't know that. Um, Feminism. What's good about feminism? I would love to hear things back from people. I usually don't like hearing things back from people on topics like this, but I have two nieces, and one's going into high school, the other's in high school. Uh, Short time, they're probably going to be in college. Uh, I'd always hoped that they were strong and empowered enough, and if anyone lay a hand on them, they would break it. you know, which apparently is an anti-feminist view. The idea that you don't want anything bad happen to the younger, more the the younger members of your family that are female, not wanting them to be abused or hurt, wanting them to know self-defense like Hapkido, Taekwondo, Aikido, so that a man whoever does harm to them gets broken bones. But I guess this is not feminist. But apparently guys can be feminist by giving women oral sex, like with their vagina, not like, licking their ass or anything like that. Now, a lot of the stuff about feminism confuses me because it's like, wait a minute. If somebody is fighting for equal rights for X, Y, and Z, it's equal rights, Um, the argument all began with somebody saying I was a men's rights advocate. And, well, it's not true. I don't believe that people have rights. I just arguing from their standpoint. I'm like, yeah, but you believe that all men have rights, correct? And then they screamed at me saying, that's not the Men's Rights movement or Men's Rights Association or whatever. And I'm thinking of like Jackie Robinson and, Rosa Parks and stuff like that, like a man's rights. Apparently it has to do with something about being a father or a divorced father or something. I didn't care at that point, but the insane person that was screaming at me was hung up on, men's rights and men having rights, and they think men should have rights or men have rights. I don't believe in human rights. I just don't. That's another video. But what I found just nonsensical is they juxtaposed men having rights, the rights of man, which I believe was written by Thomas Paine, The Rights of Man, or was that The Inherent Rights of Englishmen, being juxtaposed to feminism. But I thought women could be free and to express themselves and all this kind of crap, but their rights, their rights as as a person, no. But I mean, you're talking about political parties having rights, not actual individuals, right? Because if you're anti men's rights, and I even phrased it both ways. I said, do you mean anti-men's rights or anti the rights of man? And to make sure, like, I wasn't talking about an organization, and they we're fine. They're like, no, absolutely, you could use either of those. Yeah, it's a concept that we're after, and a group of people who support this concept. Um, the rights of man, I think, are important for most people in the United States. 4th of July, kind of, we have a kickoff of that. But if anybody wants to explain these shenanigans to me, or why a man pleasuring a woman with his mouth on her genitalia is feminist, or how human beings fighting for the rights of man, because I had grouped myself in there too. I said I don't fight for, obviously not with a weapon, but for those in Syria who are being slaughtered. They said that's not the same. Those aren't the men. No, yeah, they're not men. Okay, so now you're a feminist group that's also evil or racist because they're not. No, they're far away in Syria. They're not men. So yeah, this is my kind of rambling question for the feminists out there. Just a few questions in there. Um, and I know I'll get, not all feminists are like that in my screen. That's fine, but if you know what I'm talking about or something like that and can shed some light on it, awesome. If you are one of the people I spoke to and want to shed some and want to get into dialogue, cool. But as for, I don't know, just this weird shit that I saw on the other on that one channel, just the let's accuse this person of doing, I mean, that poor guy. I mean, I read through all of his comments, and it was just, yeah, you got many of, well, I don't want to just, group people together, but many self-described feminists had just accused him of every single thing under the sun. I mean, the only reason I know to say he is because he went into detail on one part, and it was like, like murderer, bank robber, horse thief, rapist, child molester, like every possible crime you could think of, like just insanity. And then they would see what got him the maddest, and then they'd go back to it and keep bugging him. And I'm like, what's that doing for women, or how is that a feminist thing to just piss off this one dude, or I guess a single father on his computer? And yeah, and I still haven't gotten why feminists don't like Thomas Paine or are against rights. Now, again, that's fine, because I don't believe in rights. I don't think human beings actually have rights, not shouldn't have rights. I don't think we have rights. All right, peace to you. And hopefully I'll get some answers.